Most natural lifters think they need to train like bodybuilders in order to grow their backs. I always felt sore, tired, and weak after spending up to 90 minutes in the gym doing traditional back exercises of 4 sets of 8 or even 10 by 10 journal volume training because I was taught that you needed to completely destroy your muscle fibers in order to grow your back. But once I figured out how natural lifters actually grow muscle, my strength and energy exploded, skyrocketed, while my DOMs and the exhaustion drastically decreased. In this video, I'll show you 2 exercises you need, how many sets and how many reps to do, as well as a simple progression hack that will get you that aesthetic V-taper look you've always been dreaming for. So let's get into it. Before we jump into the exercises, let's just understand the anatomy of the back. So the back is composed of multiple muscles. You got your lower back muscles, you have your teres major, your teres minor, you have your rhomboids, but for your aesthetic V-taper look, you want to focus on 2 of the major dominant muscles in your back. So you have your traps or your trapezius, and you also have your lats or the latissimus dorsi. So the role of the traps is to support movement for your neck, your head, and your shoulders, right? The role of your latissimus dorsi is for you to be able to go ahead and pull your arm backwards, right? So it can be a horizontal pull backwards, or it can be even a vertical pull downwards, right? So that is the role of the lat. One of my favorite exercises that I enjoy doing is the machined one arm row. The one arm row, the way how I place myself is as I'm seated on the machine, I ensure to have one arm that is there to stabilize and ensure that my torso doesn't twist from left to right, that I can keep my torso straight. It's great as well as having a seated position, meaning that I'm completely stable, so I can focus solely on my back as I'm doing the movement. As I'm reaching forward, I want to ensure that I have a full stretch. So my shoulder is actually leaning forward in front of me while I'm using, like I said, my arm on the bench as a counterweight. And then I go ahead and I pull, but trying not to engage the biceps, but trying to focus on pulling my elbow backwards and also ensuring that I'm pulling my shoulder backwards as well in order to squeeze the lat and the trap by pulling the scapula to the center of my body. Now, I know that I threw a lot at you, but just to keep things simple, I want to make sure to have a deep stretch forward and then go ahead and have a deep stretch backwards while squeezing my back muscles as I'm pulling backwards. And I'm able to do that when I do the one arm row on the machine. It's fantastic. I'm also able to load on a huge amount of weights because I find that when I use dumbbells instead, I'm relying on my grip. And that's tough because even just like having stability with a dumbbell, it's not the easiest. But I find with the one arm row, I can pile on weights and I'm able to pull that bad boy backwards in order to really engage the lats and the traps, well, specifically my upper lats. So that's something that you want to focus on is when you're doing a horizontal pulling motion, well, you're going to be more focused on your upper lats as they're the ones that are going to be primarily engaged, okay, your traps muscles as well. The other exercise, which is a big favorite of mine, where I use to ensure that I'm going to be pulling down in a downwards fashion, so a vertical pull, is the one arm lat pull down. The reason being is that I use the lat pull down machine, but the grip that I use is, I had to modify it in my gym by using one of the pulley handles, and I use that to perform a neutral grip. So I would say the advantage of doing the single arm with the pulley attachment that I use, as opposed to using a full bar, would be, like I said, to have a neutral grip instead of having a pronated or a supinated grip. So with that neutral grip, I can ensure to really pull down naturally, you know, with just the biomechanics allowing my arm to naturally go down in that motion. Because what happens if I use a pronated grip, and I've been using a pronated grip for years, is as I'm pulling down, I feel like I'm only engaging the top part of my lats here. I'm not getting any activation in the lower lats. The same thing is when I go ahead and do, for instance, pull-ups. When I'm doing my pull-ups, again, I feel like I'm always engaging the upper lats just because of the biomechanics. And when I go ahead and I do the supinated grip, well, at that point in time, I can't really lower the bar like more than here. Like it just feels weird to pull it in the back so, and then to come back. So I feel that when I get that neutral grip, I can really maximize that range of motion, and even going as far when I'm performing the eccentric part of the movement to really stretch, to almost like lift my shoulder up and then go ahead and bring it back down. So that way I could really get as much stretch as possible, just performing the movement by getting as much range of motion as possible. We interrupt the scheduled program for the following announcement. This video was brought to you by the 120-day tactical transformation program designed by me. My program is designed for guys over the age of 25 who have done everything in their power but are still struggling to grow muscle naturally without getting fat. Whether it be because of busy schedules, fast metabolisms, or even just a general lack of confidence, let me be the one to guide you to achieve your muscle growth objectives faster. The 120-day program provides a platform to easily track your metrics and progression, regular check-ins, delivers highly personalized training programs, easy plans to hit nutrition goals, and direct access to myself to get the body you want. For more information, check out the link below. And now, back to the regular schedule program. At this point, you're probably wondering, well, okay, that's great. You're showing me how to do the movements, but tell me as well how many reps and how many sets am I supposed to do for each of those exercises? And the answer is simple. Keep it short, all right? You want to focus on doing just a warm-up set at 50% of the working weight, and you want to perform 2 sets of 8 reps. Now, if you feel like you can do more than 8 reps, say you're able to get up to 10, it's too easy, all right? The weight's light, you can increase the weight. But if you feel like you're able to get up to doing 6 full working reps, well, at that point in time, I would say maintain the weight, all right? So that should give you just an amount, an idea of how many sets that you need to do and how many reps that you need to do. The last thing that I wanted to mention to you is a neat hack, and let me go and get this. Straps. These really ensure that you don't have to focus as much on grip strength, because a lot of these movements, when you're going to be doing any type of vertical or horizontal rows, or as a matter of fact, any type of back pulling movement, so that could even be, even if you do like shrugs with bar, like anything that has to do with pulling but holding a grip, you want to go ahead and invest in these bad boys, because they ensure that you don't have to rely on your forearms. Your forearms are not the biggest muscles, so they can get tired fast. And this can be a huge limiting factor when it comes to doing any type of pulling movements. Now, I don't remember how much I paid for these. I bought these on Amazon. I probably paid somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks for it. It would highly surprise me if it was more than 20 bucks, because it's really simple. It's nothing all that complicated. All you have to do is put the strap inside of the loop there, put it around your wrist, tighten it, and what you'll do is you'll just wrap the strap around the handle that you're going to be using, and once it's wrapped around the handle, make sure that it's really tight around that handle, and then you're holding the handle as well. And then you go ahead and you execute the movement, but you'll see that there's going to be tension that's going to be placed on the strap, which is going to relieve the grip strength that you need in your forearms. And that way you won't have that limiting factor anymore. So I would say this here will really get you more results if you really want to go ahead and target your lats as well as your traps correctly to really go and get that size. There you have it, guys. Those are my top 2 exercises that I love to do in order to grow my back. If you enjoyed what you saw today, go ahead and smash that like button. If you didn't like it, go ahead and smash that dislike button. Either way, your feedback is important because this is what helps me to determine how I should do future videos. And if you didn't already, go ahead and subscribe because I plan on doing more and more videos to help you out in your fitness journey. Now, I need to leave you on this note. Of course, doing those exercises are gonna grow you those monster lats. Well, hopefully it'll grow you those monster lats and your traps. But if you really wanna get that aesthetic V-taper look, be sure to check out my video, 2 exercises that you need in order to grow those boulder shoulders, because that will get you that aesthetic V-taper look from the top of your body going down to your waist. So on that, train hard, train smart, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.